Oh, she spotted him. Stop. Stop. I actually grabbed Lilybell here because I didn't want her to notice that Shadow was down here. Just stay. Just stay. He's fine. Pixel's like, what is she growling about? He's down here sleeping on a chair. He doesn't even notice she's there. So, no. I'm going to have to pause this. Alright, so now that that plan failed, and I had to spray a cat in the face to get her to leave him alone. Cat fight's under control. And people always ask, why do you always shoot in your bedroom? Yeah, I don't even have kids, and I still have a water bottle to keep everything under control. Yeah, this is as good as a studio. Anyways, so the Maple Leafs have made a big move today, and they've signed Patrick Marleau. Patrick Marleau gets $6.25 million a year for 3 years. Now, Marleau is 37 years of age, so he'll be 40 at the end of this contract. He did get 27 goals last year. He had 3 and 6 playoff games for San Jose. Marleau was knocked through most of his career for not being a playoff performer. I believe it was Tortorella that famously made a comment about Thornton and Marleau. I know he said something about Thornton. So it's the end of an era. Thornton and Marleau are no longer together. And I hope that at that cap hit, they don't expect more out of Marleau than he's going to deliver at this point. Marleau has lost a step. Now, he got 46 points. He got 27 goals. And I know, League fans, it's good. You guys added another top forward. But I don't know that I would pencil him in as... See, it's tough for me because I could see him being second line in Toronto, but I could see by the end of the season him being third line. And it's a lot of cap, and I'm not sure when Nylander, Marner, and Matthews are up, depending on what happens with Draisaitl and McDavid and Eichel, and what happens with these guys is going to affect what Marner, Nylander, Matthews, and all these guys are going to be looking for. And it's a short-term contract. So it's not the end of the world. And I'm not trying to portray it that way. But I do wonder if Toronto's going to find themselves in a cap crunch as soon as next summer. And I would pencil Marleau in for probably 20 goals. Probably about 40 to 45 points. And that should be a really solid addition for Toronto. They needed a veteran up front. They needed veteran presence, and they got it. I do think they overpaid. But again, when I look at what Thornton took to stay in San Jose, and I look at what Marleau is taking to go to Toronto, it makes sense. For Thornton, he's going back somewhere that he's familiar with. He knows what to expect. All of his friends are there. For Marleau, there is an element of the unknown, and there is a risk, which is why he, unless he wasn't offered a one-year deal, he may not have wanted a one-year deal. Because when you sign a one-year deal to go to a team where you don't really know what you're getting into, you can have a rough first half of the year, and then you may not get a good offer the following summer. That's happened before. So for Marleau, he gets job certainty, and he definitely is going to help Toronto. I do think Toronto's a team that's moving up in the standings. And I think adding Hainsey, adding Marleau, it gives some of that veteran presence that in the first round against Washington, it was pretty clear they didn't really have. And now they have it. So it'll be interesting to see if they move up. I think there's probably at least, I would think, 2 or 3 more minor moves to make. Because you don't want Matthews to have to assume more leadership than he has to. I think it's easy to, in the wake of Connor McDavid being named captain, and look what happened with him, to say, well, Matthews should be captain and we'll just ride him the same as Edmonton does with McDavid. Don't give a guy more leadership role than he needs before he's ready for it. So Marleau, I mean, if they don't have a captain in Toronto right now, Marleau would be fine. Marleau would work as captain. And I haven't gone into who's captain where right now. So if I'm wrong, awesome. If I'm not, great. But he would suit the role. I think if Brian Boyle had come back, he could have played that kind of role too. but Boyle's more a support guy. Marleau is more capable offensively. I think, again, if you get enamored with the 27 goals, I think you might be expecting more out of Marleau than you're going to see in Toronto. He could have a rough first 20 games as he gets used to things in Toronto and then pick it up from there. But I look at the last 2 years of this deal, and even if it's too much money, even if you can say, oh, well, you know, he's signed for too much, with only 2 years left on the contract, somebody will take it as a cap dump if something happens. If Marleau falls off the map and scores 15 goals and, you know, 35 points, somebody will take the contract. San Jose could take it back. You just don't know. Because we don't know where the cap's going to be a year from now. We don't know where anybody else is going to be a year from now. And just after the 2 years from now, we could be looking at, you know, Armageddon in terms of player strikes. It'll be 2020, which will be after this contract is up. Probably smart that he signed a 3-year deal. You may see a lot of veterans sign deals that expire for 2020, understanding what could be coming down the pike. And I don't understand why that's coming down the pike, but hey, you know, if players and teams don't like the money they're making. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about the deal. Again, I like it for Toronto. It's a lot of money, but Toronto had cap room, and again, as long as fans are realistic in their expectations of what 37-year-old Marleau can do, this isn't the same as 27-year-old Marleau coming in. He has played, if you include playoffs, he's played over 1,600 games in the NHL. That wears on a guy, but he is capable of coming in and helping Toronto with leadership and mentorship, and that's clearly what they're looking for. I would trust him more with the mentorship of a team right now than I would have 5 years ago. He's proven himself in the last couple of years, especially in the playoffs when they went to the final 2 years or a year ago. I want to say 2 years ago because, you know, now we're looking at this season and the past season, and I'm already in 17-18 mode, so I want to say 2 years ago, but it was a year ago. I do believe he can play an important role. So let me know as a Leafs fan, what do you think? I don't think this is a plan the parade moment. I really don't think so. I think the Leafs are still a ways off from that. But again, I don't think anybody expected them to make the playoffs this past season, and they did. So let me know what you guys think. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. And I did throw in the Leafs studs because Toronto made their signing. And for anybody who wonders why I don't have the new Toronto jersey, it's because I have this one. I like this one better. So I don't see a need to go out and buy their current jersey when I like the striping and I like the leaf better on this one. I just think it looks better. So every time I see that jersey on lids for sale or I see it online for sale, I'm like, yeah, I want it. And then I think, oh, I got better Leafs jerseys than that one. Why do I want to get a lesser Leafs jersey? Just so I can say I have it. So anyways, yeah. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.